Hi guys, Matt from Finatics here. We got a pretty good size order this week. Let's get into it right away. We're busy today, having a hard time getting to it, so we're gonna rush just so we can get back to catching fish for people. First thing out of the box, I've got a couple fun fish. I'm expecting feeder guppies and got redhead tapayos. Those are redhead earth-eating cichlid from the Tapayos River. Next up we have some Sterbai Tetras. These are the long fin variety, a little slower than their short fin brethren, so less nippy because of it. I got some snails. These should be zebra neorites. Keep thinking we should have more of them over there, and I keep seeming empty, so I just bought some more. We got zebra neorites right there. I like to have lots of different types of neorites. The red spots have not been available the last month or two. I'm not sure why. Got feeder guppies, so it looks like that bag came in mostly dead. That bag didn't come in that great either, so not a great take on feeder guppies. Luckily we have a backlog. Here's something I didn't realize I was almost out of, but then I was out of. They're Australian rainbows. Great dinner fish for your cichlids. Rainbows are fast and kind of pretty, but Australians are inexpensive enough to use for dinner. These guys, one of these guys is a special order. Haven't had them for a while. This is an electric blue Jack Dempsey. Questions about whether they get as big as the regular ones. And I don't really have a good answer on that. There's a big argument on whether or not those are color variant of the Jack Dempsey or if they're actually a hybrid. And I don't have an answer on that one either. I'd like to be the guy with the answer, so it kind of bugs me when I don't know what I don't know. Next box up, let's see what we got. This should be, oh yeah, something completely different. First thing out of this box is Burmese Tetras. Should have a double batch of these, I think. We've been going through a ton of rummy nose. This isn't rummy nose, this is something different. This is called a jelly bean tetra, the Geesia rolofi, and I'll say that because I got two different fish on this order that are called a jelly bean. Both of them are kind of a nano tetra. Axelrodi razii, ruby tetra from Colombia. We have a couple of those left. Great little nano fish, if I can say it. I only get about an inch. The males get pretty bright red on them. Very pretty little fish. Bunch of gold nuggets on this order. Here's one. It's an Erie 177. Doubled up on my gold nuggets because I had a lot of people asking for them. And here's a cool version of a Siamese algae. These are the reticulated Siamese algae. Nice size on these guys, bigger than I've been getting the regular ACEs at, and they're the same price as regulars, so that's a good pickup. Here's the other half of those rummy nose I told you to have. Don't forget, rummy nose are on the Tetra special. Buy 4 more, get 25% off. Here's another gold nugget. This is a L18. We brought in 18s and 177s. If you look at them side by side, they really are a little different pattern. Very similar fish. I don't think scientifically they're different, but they are significantly different when you look at the color pattern. So another 18. Look at him come down. Oh, here's a cool Pleco. I love having these guys. Gray Leperacanthicus, or the Sulton Pleco, they'll call these. White, gray background, white tips, black spots. Very, very cool fish. And not that big, about a 5-inch if I remember right. Something long and skinny. What do we got in here? Horseface loaches. Nice size on them too. Horsefaces will get maybe 7 inches. Not particularly aggressive. Do like to be in groups. They will swim through the sand. Sometimes we'll lose them in a tank, forget they're there for years, find them and scare ourselves. Don't ask me how I would have any experience with that. Here is something fun. This is an orange spot. They call them an orange spot? Yeah, orange spotted eel. It's a Masticumbulus species, so probably a larger eel. Have to do a little bit of look up on that, but if I remember right, they're like an 18-inch eel, and a bit on the aggressive side. These are more gold nuggets. These are another 177. Trying to lose my box here. Another one. Is that a 177 too? Nope, that's 18. Can't tell from just looking at the bag, but I swear you can tell when you see them next to each other in the tank. And the last thing in this box is last bit of crystal pie tetras that they had. Looks like they only had, it says they have 7 in there. They are so clear, even clearer than a glass palette, that they could tell me there was 70 in there and I'd be like, oh sure. That's it for this box. Throw these guys in here, give myself some room. off to the races with another box. Alrighty, next. First, we got a whole bunch of bettas, and I'm not going to go through them. Brought in about, it's about a dozen or more bettas this week. Some really nice ones, but we'll do a breakout on those. Here's some killies. These are the Norman's lamp eyes. It's like somebody didn't make the trip, but most of them look pretty good. Oh, really small on those guys. Norman lamp eye killies are great little nano fish when the bag doesn't get flat. Hopefully those will come around for us. Next up is some powder blue dwarf gourami males. So recently lowered the price on those guys a bit and put them someplace where they've been right out in front and been selling out of them like crazy. Oh, this is a cool fish. This is Macromastics dragon-headed whiptail. There's nothing you can see him in there. You know I can't resist a cool whiptail. This guy's about twice as big as the last one I got in. They're a really neat, long, wispy, finned whiptail. And then we have a watermelon Distichodus, another very cool, don't get very often Distichodus. They get green body with red stripes in them and a couple black lines. And they're all colored up there, really spectacular. I've got some more Lima, Tridens Limas. Those we sold pretty much out of those, and they're still available, so I might as well stock them while we can. So I like them. Kind of nutball library. These are Odessa barbs. Ran out of those last week as well. Odessa barbs have the bright yellow and the red in the body, yellow in the fin, that is. Beautiful, beautiful barb. And not as nippy or picky as some of the other barbs that you'd think of. Sterbai Corys, gotta love your Corys. Only a couple of types in this batch because there wasn't that many available to get everything they have. Clown loaches, gotta have them when we can get them, and we've been able to get them. A little more expensive than I'm used to paying for them, but I think that's just the new world on those. Here's something that I've not had in a long time, and I love them. They are duplicate Corys. They look a lot like an Adolphi. Came in bigger than an Adolphi, and the price on them was actually pretty good. More expensive than the baby tank raised Adolphis, but still relatively inexpensive for a neat Cory. Hard to come by. Dwarf frogs are a must. Can't be out, and they were pretty low, so I got some more. Along with nice large coolies. These are the black coolies, actually. I thought I ordered only the bandits. Maybe I hit the wrong box on that. That happens, so that's all right. We can always use more black coolies too. I've been selling coolies like crazy around here. Coolies are awesome add to any community tank or otherwise. Oh, yes, we have 3 more boxes to go because I have a problem. I just can't stop ordering fish. And you guys are enabling me by buying so many fish that I don't need to. So here we go. Let's see, this is another Pleco. This is a Galaxy LDA 31. That's the mustard spot Pleco. I get these from time to time. They only have an LDA number, not an L number, which most of us, that's just kind of like not really a thing. Here's something different. This is a Pea Able. I call them a leopard puffer. There's about 4 other fish that go by the same name. I haven't had this particular guy before. I shipped him in a cup so he wouldn't bite his bag. Looks really cute. I'll be curious to see what he looks like in the tank. Here's another one of those LDA 31, so it's a mustard spot. And then here's a tiny, tiny little fish. This is the other fish that I've seen called a jelly bean. They're calling it a Odontus Tetra here today. But nice little nano fish. Again, one of those little expensive glass tetras. They weren't that crazy expensive, but not cheap either. This is nice looking blue diamond Congos, except for that one that didn't make the trip. Somebody was asking me for some more of these. We had a few. These are a lot bigger than the ones we had, so nice take on those guys. Decent price. And a couple of rope fish. Only ordered a couple because if they overpack the bags, they always come in neurological. We'll get those out of the bag right away before they decide to change their mind. It's really good right now. Wild bettas. I love wild bettas. These are the Edithi, or the pearl spot betta. Super cool dude. Most of your, or many of your wild bettas can be kept in a colony, whereas you can't do that with regular splendids. Here's blue paradise fish. Ran low on those last week. Another guy that we like to keep in stock. Inexpensive anavantoid, close to a betta, somewhere between a betta and a, wow, that's a full betta. I'm not going to look at, but the blue paradise are kind of in between a grommy and a betta. Speaking of betta, here's a pearl betta, pink pearl, smartigan, another wild type. Got a couple more. We still have a couple other wild bettas over there too. I really like the wild bettas. They're pretty fun. Here's something that we've had from time to time. Sold out of them last week, and had somebody else tell me, oh man, I was going to come get those. So we got some more for them. These are the mudfish. Really neat, unusual natural history on those guys. Worth taking a look at if you get a chance to do some reading. Let's see, eels. Been collecting eels because they were hard to get for a while. These are the Burmese Zebra Eels, which are in the Masticumulus. I got them said as Macrognathus. Anyway, typically these are an easy going eel that you can have in community, only about 12 inches. Looking. And knives. These are African knives. You can tell the African knife from the Asian knife because the Asian knives have a fin on the top of their back there, but these guys do not, so they are an African knife. So that's it for that box. Two more to go. Let's see if our arms will take it. One of these boxes should be blackworms. It should go pretty quick. This is not it. This is another big box of fish. So let's see what we got. Maybe I underestimated the number of bettas that I bought. Maybe there's a few more than a dozen. Just a couple dozen. Maybe I have a problem. Here's jaguar cichlids. Haven't had jags in a long time. Got a pretty decent price. Not a bad size on these guys. About 1 3/4, maybe even 2 inches. Good started jags. Remember, they are a huge cichlid. They get very aggressive. Here's a cichlid I've never had before. There's thousands of cichlids out there. So every now and then I succumb to the curiosity, okay, more than now and then, and pick up something I don't know much about. This is a tuba cichlid. Kind of an unusual looking guy. They have some stripes and spots in them. Again, a very interesting Central American cichlid actually from Costa Rica and Nicaragua. A little reading before I brought them in, as I always do, though sometimes it's easier to tell you about than others. Looking at these green tiger barbs, some of them didn't make the trip. They're a little bit chilly in this box, but got a batch of those. We can get the remainders of those to come around for you, fill in what we already have. Oh, here's our regular Corydoras. So apparently I bought both the blacks and the bandeds. Why not? You should always have more Corydoras, not less, in your life. Cool fish, bumblebee jelly catfish. Fun guy. Looks a lot like your South American bumblebee cat, but I think jelly cat is a popular name right now. So we got some of those guys. Not particularly expensive, not near as expensive as your other guy that most people call it jelly bean or jelly cat. Here's some apistos. Somebody was asking for fire red apistos, so I brought in some more. Restock on those guys. Beautiful color on those. Apistos, you get your best color with those if you don't keep them too warm. We were a little warmer than they probably like. So always come in a little bit more colorful. They'll color up in your home tank better if you're keeping them in the low 70s. Here's another must whenever they're available. These are Pea Puffers. Fun little guys. I do not recommend them for a community tank. Some people will. And some people will do it even though I don't recommend it. And that's fine as long as it works for you. My experience is they do best in a species tank. Mono shrimp. Always a necessity for your plant a tank. Your hair algae better than anything else I can recommend for you. And gotta have these. These are Fruity Pebbles. Low Tetras are a stalwart of the industry nowadays. A lot of kids get their start there, and that's okay as long as you get that start. Neon Tetras, a must. Got another big batch to refill. Been selling neons on the neon special or the Tetra special in general. 4 or more get 25% off, and already have a pretty low price on those to start with. Gold White Clouds restock. That's the albino white cloud. White clouds actually will take a much cooler temperature than the average tropical, so if you do an unheated tank, it's big enough to hold temperature. I still recommend a heater even in a cooler tank myself. Here's regular Siamese algae eaters. Got a nice bag of those guys in. Gotta have those for the hair algae for that tank that doesn't do well with the mono shrimp. Siamese algae eaters are a good second choice. And then the last thing in this bag, something I haven't had in a while. I think our nano section is stable enough we can try some bettas, a neon green rasbora. They're just really susceptible to ick. You know, I've had trouble with a little bit of cool temperature, so I got drop. So I held out for a couple months until we had that problem fixed. And hopefully they will do great and take advantage of some great nano fish. Obviously I went kind of nano nuts this week, and why not? Along with those jags, I guess those have nano fish. And one more bag to go through, like I said, our box. Pretty sure you're going to see some blackworms in that. Let's take a look. Let's see if there's anything in there but blackworms. I do not know. Yeah, there sure is. I look here. There's blackworms. And there's Peter comets. And some ghost shrimp. Now that's it. That's everything we got. We did get crickets in today. We're expecting hornworms and some waxworms and some other bugs in later in the week. So check out the bugs and we will see you soon.